This is terrible. The latest result from Liverpool really had me so pissed off. After the thumping 4-0 victory of Manchester City against Liverpool, of course, in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, we need to speak about a few things. Yes, I'm looking at you, Arneslot. We need to speak about you. We need to speak about how do you still have a job? This is my first question. Second question that I have is actually how does this club still employ a manager that has managed to get 15 losses in a whole season? And how and why do you still keep him in the job? What sort of positives do you see in Arne Slot or in the way that we're playing at the moment that makes you think, you know what, I actually have a bit of faith in this manager? Because this is baffling to me. We are barely, if we will be managing to get any Champions League qualification, this will be embarrassing after our season, last season, where we managed to win the title. What is the Liverpool team management and owners in general see in honest law that we don't? Because are no positives. There are no positives in the way that we're playing. There's no tactic. There's no way of playing. We don't know what his style of football is. And you can also see that the players are not really that interested in actually playing for honest law. And I just think they just gave up in the loss against Man City. It was obvious to see that the players have just had enough and themselves, they just gave up on him. And don't get me wrong, I don't think it's just honest at fault. I think the players are at fault as well. But this is where Jürgen Klopp managed to give them a kick up the old butt and really get the best out of this team and really get the best out of the players. But at least he had a way of playing. He had an idea. He had a style. And we went from a team that everyone was afraid to play against to a team where you're looking at Liverpool right now. And if you're PSG, for instance, in the Champions League, which is the very next game, you are rubbing your hands together and ooh, I can't wait to play Liverpool because Liverpool are absolutely crap. And Liverpool are so easy to play against because there's space everywhere on the pitch. Everywhere. He's playing the two wingers really out wide. This is why Salah's output this season is much worse than last season. Yes, he is not great from penalties or whatever, but he's playing way too wide. He's playing his favorite son, of course, Gakpo, and this manager is not the right caliber manager for Liverpool. We need to find another manager from the summer. And I think keeping him until the summer has damaged Liverpool much, much more than we would have previously think. I think keeping him until the summer, if you don't get Champions League qualification in terms of monetary value, it will affect the club massively and it will be embarrassing not to be in the Champions League. It will damage the club long term for more than a season. And also, we should have just gotten rid of him. Whoever the new manager will be, you need to give him a bit of time. And this season, it would have been the best thing, really, to have a bit more time. Because in the summer, keep in mind, it is a World Cup year. So the preseason is not going to be that long, or the preseason will not feature all of the players that have gone to the World Cup. And that will be quite bad for our players, for the new manager, for everyone involved, really. And it will take time. Do I think that Xabi Alonso is ready to take over Liverpool and do well? I do not. If I'm being completely honest, I would rather us have the likes of Luis Enrique as the manager. He would be the dream. I would say the second manager that we should target is Julian Nagelsmann. I know that he's the manager of Germany right now and it's a World Cup year and all of that, but I think he will be brilliant and he's actually younger than Xabi Alonso, with Nagelsmann being 38 years old and Xabi Alonso being 44. I think people forget the fact that Nagelsmann has quite a bit of experience, maybe not at the highest level, and I think at Bayern he was dismissed way too early. But I think Bayern Munich were playing some good football with him, and it was a mistake to get rid of Nagelsmann. I would prefer Nagelsmann. I think he plays that high energy. He will be able to bring the best out of it. And don't get me wrong, Xabi Alonso will probably be doing that too, and Frimpong and all of that jazz. But at the same time, with Frimpong having all of these injuries, I think the team needs a lot of reinforcements in the summer. The business that we've done last season is definitely was bad. I did not understand why would you bring another number 10 in Florian Wirtz when you have Dominic Soboslai. Florian Wirtz is a generational talent. Everybody knows that. But why are you bringing him if you're not going to be playing with two number 10s anyway? Why are you bringing the likes of Isak when you literally bought Hugo Ekitike not very long ago? Why are you not signing a left back? Why are you not signing a center back? There's so many positions right now that I look into Liverpool's team and I go, there's a lot of things that a lot of players that we need to do. There's a lot of things that we need to be doing differently. I would get a goalkeeper. I don't think Mamardashvili is ready. I don't think Mamardashvili is good enough for us. I would get a right back because both Bradley and Frimpong are injury prone. I'd bring at least one or two centre backs because you have Virgil van Dijk. He's 33, about to be 34. You have Joe Gomez, which can't stay fit. You have Kanate on the brink of leaving, free of contract anyway. You need a left back because you have Robertson going and Tsimikas is 31. You have Kerkez to start, so you might just need a backup for him. You need a proper DM. I don't think we have actually replaced Fabinho from a very long time ago. And we need to. Gravenberch, for me, is not the DM. He's not the ball-winning midfielder that I would like us to see in the squad. I think the likes of Gravenberch could go. I think the likes of Alexis McAllister could go. I think his form has dropped off massively. I think we need wingers, both on the right hand side. We need two, and I would say one on the left hand side with Rio as backup. But we need a lot of investment, and there might not be a lot of players to sell. I would say we would probably need to sell Chiesa. He hasn't been given a chance by Arne Slot. I think would definitely get rid of Gakpo. For sure, 100% get rid of Gakpo. If Bayern Munich offers you 70 million euros, Liverpool, yeah, for Gakpo, you take it and you run. You run. Okay? That's what you have to do. Gakpo is not, should not be playing for us in or even being in the starting 11. I think we would need right back, left back, center backs, goalkeeper, so many options, so many players that I could see us moving as well with, as I said, Gravenberch. I think his form has dropped off massively and he's a good ball carrier, but that's pretty much it. Alexis McAllister has just lost that fight, has just lost that aggression about him. Curtis Jones, again, way too many touches, way too much time lost on the ball, and he should be quicker, much quicker in releasing the ball and everything else. And obviously, Salah is going to be leaving for free. I don't know why. Why are we allowing Salah to go for free where we could have got 30, 40 million pounds for him? I'm sure some Saudi club will be more than happy to pay that for Salah, but we're allowing him to go on free. Baffles me. I don't know, understand why. And my biggest problem with Liverpool at the moment in terms of recruitment is the fact that we have to wait so much time, or the fact that we don't pull the trigger on players when we should. Because at the moment, they are looking at Ian Diomande from Leipzig, right? And Leipzig won 100 million euros for him. But why didn't we look at Ian Diomande when he was playing for Leganes when he was 20 million euros? Why didn't we look at Mickey van de Ven when he was still at Wolfsburg and we could have paid 40 million euros to get him? But no, we allow other teams to get all of these players. And after that, you go back for them when they're costing you twice to three times more. Why didn't we go for the likes of Maxence Lacroix when he was at Wolfsburg? Why? Why didn't we go for him? Why didn't we go for the likes of Adam Wharton? Why did we have to allow him to go to Crystal Palace? And after that, we want him from Crystal Palace. Why didn't we go for Michael Olise? This is my question. When he was at Crystal Palace, when he had a £53 million release clause. And obviously, as the club has said, he is the ideal replacement, long-term replacement for Mo Salah, right? So why aren't we going for him when he costs £53 million, not 160 million euros, what Bayern Munich won for him, by the way, now? And there's so many more players that I could give you examples that we could have g- gone and buy before they made it into big time, really. And I do not understand it. I do not understand why we're not quicker in buying all of these players. Why aren't we quicker in? I would really like to be in one of those scouting meetings where when the scouting team has their meetings with the data analysts and everybody else, with Michael Hughes, with Richard Hughes, with Michael Edwards, with all of them to really see what they're doing in those meetings, because I am baffled. I do not understand how you're, rather than going for players when they cost not a lot of money, you wait to see if they're going to be going to another team to see if they're going to be any good, and after that you go back and buy them, but for much more than what they cost you. So me, I'm baffled. Well, even the same thing I could say about Dominic Soboslai. Why did we have to wait for Dominic Soboslai to go to Leipzig when we played against him when he was at Salzburg, and we could have bought him from Salzburg for much less? This is my question. So Liverpool, you have a massive, massive job on your hands. You have a massive job to rebuilding the squad. You, I would say, get Slot out, get Michael Edwards out, get Richard Hughes out. Probably Michael Edwards will go because obviously FSG have announced that they're not going to be going into the multi-club model. And after looking at the likes of Getafe and Bordeaux and other teams in Italy, Spain, or other teams, they couldn't find any team that really had that investment opportunity or was a good club to invest the money into. And obviously, when Michael Edwards came back, that was his sole purpose of coming back to Liverpool, was to just look at that, at finding the second club for FSG to invest their money into. That has obviously failed, and the plans for that have been shelved by FSG. So I do not think Michael Edwards will be continuing with us. By if you take the news, Richard Hughes apparently is wanted by Al Hilal to be their new sporting director. And I think if that happens, I will not be too unhappy about it, really. Based on the business that they've done so far, I would say they need to be going, really. They definitely need to be going. But let me know what you guys think. That was my rant about Liverpool. There's a lot of things that are going wrong, and we need to get back on winning ways. And we definitely need to be doing that quick. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree with me, or if you don't, let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, right now is the Champions League games. Champions League is back, but I'm not feeling very confident, really, us playing PSG. PSG are in good form. We are not. And I just think we will be getting absolutely battered on the two legs over PSG. But thank you for watching. Make sure that you subscribe if you like it, or let me know what you enjoyed or didn't enjoy. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys very soon.